The Great Scattering is something almost everyone goes through, but barely anybody sees coming. It's not talked about or taught in schools, but it's one of the biggest shifts that happen as you get older. And if you don't see it for what it is, it'll hit you hard. The Great Scattering essentially is when the people you used to see all the time slowly vanish from your daily life. So the friends you used to go to school with or hang out with, your cousins that you used to have sleepovers with, and the classmates that you used to share notes with, all disappear from your daily life and only show up once every few months, if that. And you never see it coming. Because it doesn't happen with a goodbye. It happens with distance. Jobs take over, families and priorities. The real world just spreads people out. And the reason most people aren't prepared for this is because for most of your early life, relationships are effortless. School gives you a built in community. So the person you sit next to one day is probably your best friend by the end of the week. It's almost like a set up connection. Same thing with university. It gives you constant opportunities to bond with people and get to know each other. That way, you make plans and have people to hang out with. My point is, you don't have to try. You just show up and people are there, and socializing naturally occurs. So now, your brain has built the assumption that this is how life is. These friendships will always be around. But once you enter into real life, it all disappears. A sudden change most people are not prepared for. And this is where most people get stuck. Because after the Great Scattering, friendships become something you have to build. And building it as an adult feels weird. You have to initiate, make plans, take social risks, do things you've never done before. And if you don't have the confidence to do that, you end up being alone. And this is the part no one warns you about. You either create connection or get used to silence. This is a position that a lot of us find ourselves in once school or university has ended. But there's good news, because this video isn't all doom and gloom. The only way to survive the Great Scattering is once you see it, act on it. You need to accept that your friend group won't last forever. You need to stop waiting for friendships to fall in your lap. And you need to build confidence. Say yes to things, start conversations, even if it feels awkward. Because the longer you wait, the more normal isolation feels. And that's the trap. But what happens to the people who fail to realize this? Well, a lot of people don't even realize the Great Scattering is even happening to them. They just assume their friendships are still strong because nothing bad happened. They keep saying things like, we'll catch up soon, thinking everyone's just busy at the moment. But months turn into years, and by the time they look around, everyone's gone, and they never got the chance to replace them. So here's usually what happens next. They start feeling isolated but can't explain why. They feel disconnected but they don't reach out. They distract themselves with work, entertainment, and scrolling, but underneath all of it, they're lonely. Not because they're antisocial, but because they waited too long to act. Some of them even become bitter. They think nobody cares about them. They blame their old friends. They blame the world. But the truth is, they didn't realize that adult friendships don't maintain themselves. They didn't realize that after everyone settled with where their actions took them in life, that relationships still require effort and initiative. And when that realization finally hits, they either wake up and rebuild or they sink deeper into isolation. And if there's one thing I would love for you guys to take away from this video, regardless of what position you're in, is that at some point in life, you'll realize friendships aren't as easy as sitting next to somebody in class. You have to start building them yourself. That's the shift most people aren't prepared for. School gives you a social life by default, but adulthood doesn't. And if you don't take ownership of your relationships, you'll slowly drift into isolation without realizing it. The Great Scattering is unavoidable, but being permanently alone isn't. Whether you're in the middle of it, heading towards it, or already on the other side, the truth stays the same. Connection in adulthood isn't found, it's created. And the earlier you accept that, the less it will break you when everything starts to change.